Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, and therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Hey everyone, this is Amanda from devotioninaction.com, and I love this passage in Lamentations. It just talks about how the Lord's mercies are new every morning, and that is so powerful because I think sometimes I get so focused on my past. I get so focused on the mistakes I've already made, on the times when I've tripped up, when I've sinned, when I've made the wrong choice, when I've hurt relationships around me, when I've not done everything I could have done, then I get so focused on that. But God says that was in the past. Here are my mercies again, brand new for you every single morning. So this really brought to mind in my mind one of those like daily desktop calendars where you tear away the day. My son actually, we have a good time. In his stocking last year for Christmas, I gave him a joke calendar like that, where it has a joke on each day. And so at night when I go in there to say goodnight to him, and I always pick up his calendar and read the joke question, and he tries to answer it or doesn't. And he's like, Mom, but it's kind of a tradition now. And so we read the joke every night before bed, and I tear it away and I throw it in the trash for the new one to be on there for the next day. And I just saw in my head this idea of tearing away the past, tearing away the day before, tearing away yesterday. And so you can write anything you want if you sketch out one of these little desktop calendars. They're not too difficult to do, but you can write anything you want. You don't have to write the date on that. You could write yesterday on it or the past on it. You can write yesterday's date or today's date. It doesn't matter, because tomorrow when you look back at it, it won't be today anymore. It'll be the past. And just imagine that you're tearing that away and throwing that away in favor of God's new mercies every morning. You'll notice that with the watercolor, I kind of guided my reds to be darker on the left side there of that top box and away from that edge, so that it's lighter where I thought the light would fall. And I really like how this turned out. I'm shadowing with a like kind of bluish gray, very translucent, lots of water, and bringing that, again, more shadows to the left-hand side of this little calendar, underneath the edge of where it would tear off, underneath where it's pulled out, so that you can see how the light would really create those shadows. And it creates depth to this very simple little sketch. I darkened that left side again because that's the place that gets the least amount of light. And that's basically all I'm going to paint on this one. This is a really quick little Bible art journaling entry here. And so I wanted to that sketch, it just really spoke to me about how God's mercies are new every morning. So I'm going to, I did look at it though and think, I could add something, hope, from those extra printables that I made at the beginning of this challenge for everyone who's joining us who was not at the Hope in the Lord conference and didn't get that 10-day devotional with the free printables that have like the desktop calendar and stuff on them. I'm going to use this little hope, and I liked the one with the plant in the O, the little sprig of a plant growing up there, because I think about the fresh mercy, that new mercy growing up every morning, springing up. Because it seems like it doesn't take very long. The seed is dead, and you put it in the ground and you water it and you wait, and then all of a sudden one morning there's this little plant. It's like it happened overnight. And I thought that really went along with what I was thinking with this devotional today and this passage in Lamentations. And I decided to do this a little different way. A lot of times I will use my Pitt Artist Pen to outline it and then watercolor over it, or I'll use pencil to outline it and then watercolor over it. But this is really dark and kind of big format on this hope. And so I thought I bet I can see that through the page really easily. And I was just going to take my watercolor and lay down the watercolor first, then dry it, then outline over the top of it with my black Zig Memory Maker pen that has the marker side to it. I've used it several times in this challenge already on the videos. And I wanted the blue to be kind of a messy watercolor underneath those open spaces on the word hope. And then I'm going to add some green in those little leaves in the middle of the O to add that pop of green on that plant. And just kind of pushing that in there for a minute there. I couldn't see with the way my angle and the way the lighting was. I couldn't see those little leaves for a second there, so I had to push down on the page to be able to see them. And I'm adding a little darker green on the bottom because it was a little too light for me to see. And that's all just hitting it with a heat tool to dry that watercolor and really get it nice and dry, because I knew to write over it with the black pen, I needed it really, really nice and dry. I hope that you are really getting some encouragement and some hope as we do these devotionals. We are a little over halfway through our 10-day hope challenge. This is that pen I was talking about, the Zig Memory Marker, and see how it has two ends, one thin end and one marker end. I'm going to use the marker end for this hope word. As we do, I want to encourage you to, as we embrace hope from God every morning, let's make sure that we're sharing it with others. And what are some ways that you can give someone else in your life a fresh start? Maybe they've hurt you. Maybe they don't always make the right decisions. Maybe it's your child or your spouse, and they always seem to be going against what you'd like them to do or what you ask them to do. And they need a fresh start today. So I want us to think about how we can give others in our life some of that hope, some of that fresh start today, and really kind of share the hope of the Bible, to share Jesus and share the hope of God's Word in a practical way. What ways can we share hope in a practical way with others? And I'd love to hear from you on this. What are your thoughts about how to share hope in a practical way with those in our lives? And it may be your boss or your coworker that you really need to extend some hope to, extend a fresh start to. And I wanted to say hope for a fresh start. So I took that big marker and I wrote out fresh start in cursive, and then realized that I had not written 4A and thought, where am I going to fit that in? Better switch to the smaller tip of this pen and put it right in there above the FRES of fresh. So I really like it. So happy accident there that I forgot to write fora, because originally I was planning on writing like fora and then fresh start underneath it all in the big letters, but I like this better than that. So that worked out well for me, I guess. It's a good thing that my absent-mindedness sometimes comes in handy. And now I'm just adding that hashtag DIA Hope Challenge that I add to all of the pages from this challenge. And you can add to any of your posts on Facebook, Instagram, any of your social media. You can add that hashtag too, and we'll be able to search it and see all of the posts that have to do with this challenge. And then I didn't date this page because I actually used today's date on that little desktop calendar right there. But I am going to write a little something, journal a little bit here in the open space underneath there, and it's a prayer. Just journaling a prayer to ask God to help me to tear away the past and to depend on His new mercies every morning. So you can journal whatever you want there, or make your page however you want for that matter. It's really how God leads you as you get into this word in Lamentations, and really kind of reflect on the mercies of God being new every morning. I can't wait to see what you come up with as you are journaling, and even if you're just thinking, if you're not journaling, if you're not doing the art journaling, that's fine. Devotion in Action is all about keeping an active, Christ-centered life. And so we're actively pursuing that Christ-centered life all throughout our day. So maybe if you just want to share some thoughts that God brought out to you, and not a picture of a journaling or any art or anything, that's That's great. That's perfectly fine. It's however you are feeling God is leading you. And then I was like, well, maybe I do need to put the date on it because I may not realize in a couple of years that the calendar is the date. And I'm going to put a little bracket around the passage that this devotional was based on right there. And that is my entry for this day. This is day 6 of the 10-day Hope Challenge. I can't wait to see your post and to see what God is doing. I also want to hear about your practical ideas for how to share hope with others in our lives as we go about our days. Here we go. Take a look. I'm going to lift it up to the camera so you can have a close-up look at that real quick. And back down again. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you over in social media.